Welcome back. In part 2, I am going to help you make the most out of your birding experience on location. Hopefully you have used the online resources from our first video to help you research what to look for at your destination. The High Plains Environmental Center will be discussed for our location. High Plains is open fields, lakes and canals, wetlands, trees, and many native plants and insects. Certain times of the years, different environments will attract different bird species. When you are getting ready, remember that you are not a robot. You will need a hat, binoculars, a field guide, good shoes, appropriate clothing for the weather, water, maybe a sandwich and chips, sunscreen, and your brain. I use a backpack to put all of my birding stuff in. Being comfortable and prepared lets you enjoy being outdoors longer. Remember that you're not just looking for birds, but you're enjoying Mother Nature. Some people identify the plants, insects, clouds, and other wildlife while they are birding. I enjoy taking pictures of anything that moves, to show my robot friends. It is important to use your eyes and your ears. I listen for bird calls, shuffling leaves or breaking twigs, splashes, or anything out of the normal. Move slowly because it is easy to miss a noise, or a movement, if you are moving too fast. Move quietly, because if the birds hear you first they fly away. Remember to look off in the distance because you can see something and then proceed slowly to view it from up close. Sometimes I keep a bush or a tree in between me and the bird so that I can get close before it sees me. All of these are behaviors I have learned to make each day of birding more rewarding. You will not always know what you see. Look for specific characteristics that make a bird you are viewing different from other birds you have seen. Then, use your field guide to identify that bird. Sometimes, the bird will startle and leave before you have identified it. Don't despair, you will learn to identify birds more quickly with experience. I also have learned to identify behaviors too. They might display courting behaviors like these western grebes. I like to identify a bird and observe it for a few minutes. Maybe it tries to eat something, and I learn what it eats. Maybe it chases another bird away. That means it is territorial. The bird might be protecting a nest site, or a food source. If it sings, or calls, I can try to commit that bird call to memory. I can watch a woodpecker brace itself with its tail against a limb of a tree, a trait that I have read about. Woodpeckers have to do that while they peck a hole in a tree looking for insects. Perhaps, the lighting changes and is just right for a cool picture while I'm observing the bird. When you move quietly and observe birds for an extended time, you will see more. Sometimes, a different bird I would not have noticed has dropped its guard because it has become comfortable with me being still. I have been viewing birds and seen minks, muskrats, bullfrogs, coyotes, and an elk, all in the area between Boyd Lake and the High Plains Environmental Center. The folks at McWinney and the High Plains Environmental Center have worked hard to combine development with the native environment. That has allowed for many species to thrive in our community. Many birds and wildlife live here year-round, others pass through while during migration. Because of the elements of native landscape and resource management, wildlife is more comfortable passing through here during migration. It is amazing to think that over 150 species of birds may pass through our neighborhood each year. In part 3 of Learning to Bird, we will discuss migration in further detail. Until then, pack your backpack up with your gear. Get out there and enjoy the amazing place that we live. Who knows? Maybe you will see me out there.